So guys, this is the rough sketch of what I want my wall hanger to look like, and these fabrics are going to do the magic. Yeah guys, so now I have managed to get a big fabric, and this fabric is going to be at the back of my wall hanger. Unfortunately, it didn't go as planned. Okay, so I had to scrap this part where my ruler would be. I also had to scrap this because my fabric is not as big as what I had imagined, and I also have a small wall space, so I do not want anything big or oversized. Yeah, so this is what I am working with right now. I am going to correct it on paper so I know what measurements I am working with, how far they are apart from each other, and in general the measurements I need. Fingers crossed, fingers crossed. Guys, I am done cutting out my fabric and I corrected the measurements, so this is what I have, this is what I am going to be working with, and I cannot wait to start. So I don't know if you guys will be able to understand this, but for the fabric requirements, now for the first pockets right here, I am going to cut out 11 by 33, so basically 22 inches by 33 right here. Okay, and for the second part, I am going to cut out 3 by 39 inches, one piece. And for the third part, I am going to cut out 6 by 33 inches, two piece. Oh yeah, two piece, yeah. One for the inner and one for the outer, yeah, understand, one for the inner and one for the outer. And for the last part, 4 by 3.5, and I'm cutting out 5 pieces. So guys, let's get this party started. Guys, this is how I am going to place the fabrics for the front. I am going to sew them together just the way it is, and I'm going to take a picture so I know which fabric is going to which place. I am done sewing the front piece of my wall hanger. Now I am going to bring the back piece, and I forgot to mention that I cut my interfacing ½ inch smaller than the main fabric. So I am going to place the interfacing in the middle, and I am going to sew them together in order to hold the interfacing in place. Now I am done sewing. And for the first pocket, I am going to bring the back and the front piece, place them right sides touching each other, and sew. This is also another pocket, the second pocket. I am going to place them the same way and sew. And this is the third part. Along the way you're going to see, I am going to place them like so, or I am going to place it like so, and I am going to sew it. And this is the last piece of the hanger. I am going to fold them into 4, and so I have 5 pieces. Alright guys, I am done sewing. I am ready to start placing the wall hangers together. Now guys, I used the wrong interfacing for this hanger. Please use the right interfacing, okay? So because I used the wrong interfacing, I used a marco, a very thick marco. It was so difficult, like my sewing machine couldn't take it. As you can see, I had several skip stitches my needle even broke. So guys, because of this, I didn't use interfacing for the second pocket. Okay, so now I am placing the first pocket on the wall hanger. Guys, because of the thickness, I couldn't use my sewing machine. I had to sew it by hand. I used the needle and thread. Guys, next time I know what not to do. For the mistake I made here, next time I know the right things to do. Okay, thing number one, use the right interfacing. Okay, so I am going to bring you guys closer. Sorry for the mess. I am not working on my table today. I am working on the floor. And I also used my needle and thread to sew it in the middle in order to act as a demarcation between the pockets, because you're supposed to have two pockets. And as you can see guys, I used a needle and thread instead of a sewing machine. Now I am going to attach the second set. The spacing between is 5 inches, so that is what I am doing, and that is basically like a straight fabric, and I said I was going to use 3 inches spacing, but I couldn't. I had to work with my equipment or my tools, what I had. So I was basically testing it out and previewing what I wanted to achieve in order to know the amount of spacing I need in between. As you can see, I put in my scissors, and it was obvious if I had used 3 inches spacing, my scissors would just slip right down into the first pocket, so I had to adjust the spacing. So I am done sewing the second piece of my hanger, and it is time to place the third piece, which is the second pocket. I didn't use interfacing for it because the first pocket was an example, it didn't work out. So for the second pocket, I decided not to use an interfacing. And as you can see, I have sewn it together. I have demarcated the pocket, and I recommend you sewing the sides before you sew in the bottom lesson lines, guys. And as you can see, my pocket is tight, and that is good because I intend to use that side for pens or markers. And I have also sewn in the last piece of my wall hanger, and my mom gave me hanger to use because I told her I was confused about what to or how to hang the wall pocket. So I basically cut out another 2 strips of fabric, and I cut out another fabric which my hanger is going to go through. I cut out 6, and the length I had to measure according to the hanger, the length of the hanger. So now I am done placing or sewing the hangers together to the main wall hanger. So many hangers, guys, so many hangers. Alright guys, so I am done placing it together. As you can see, I sewed them, or I stitched them down towards the bottom of the wall hanger, and I placed them on the wrong side of the wall hanger. So guys, so far so good. This is what we are looking like. Tell me what you think, guys. Smash or pass. Okay, so for the bias, I measured the length, the overall length of my wall hanger, which is 128 inches, and I added 2 inches, which is 130. So I cut out 130 in order to be able to have enough fabric to work with. And for the width, I cut out 4 inches. So I am just going to iron it together to make my bias. Okay, so now my bias is ready. I am going to place it at the edge of my wall hanger, and I am going to take it to the sewing machine and stitch. It was a struggle. The hanger is big, the interfacing is thick. I just had to stitch, you guys, and I could not show you guys all the stitching process because, like I said, it was a struggle. So next time I know what I am going to do because of the mistakes I made in making this one. So this is me trying to figure out where to hang it, and also this is me placing all my tools. Okay guys, what do you think about this DIY? Is this something you will try? Let me know in the comment section, and if you've made this, please let me know, and next time I would use the right interfacing. Okay.